You know, and if you haven't heard, I am tragically doing another album. I've dropped it today. It's called 4M Full. It's all right, this one. Honestly, it's all right. Like, my music has been persistently like the one thing that people just kept telling me to stop. Like the videos, I mean, people had mixed opinions on them, but like people have been screaming at me. And you know what? The more people tell me to quit music, the more I want to keep doing it than to really prove people wrong. And I hope I can with this one. But yeah. About a year ago, I did a tier list of all of my songs, not including like the joke songs I've done, my serious album tracks with a few extras, and we put them on this tier list. I'm doing it again with the new song, but what I'm going to try and do with this tier list, because obviously, right, the new album has the 14 best songs I've ever made, because they're all leagues better, because they're properly produced, they're properly mixed in a better way, you know what I mean? We're using actual auto tune, we're doing actual intense. Like we're doing a lot more stuff with this than I've ever done before, which was very raw. But I'm taking these songs like if I remastered Progress or Happened Future or Made It Out Alive, which songs could have potential to be salvaged and actually are all right as songs, and which ones are just atrocious and should never see the light of day and should have never been made. Yeah, let's get on with it. The tiers are first tier is my best work. Kind of tells you what it is on the tin, doesn't it? Proud of this. Yeah, I'm proud of this song. Not quite the best work, but I'm very happy with it. Happy with it. It's like a tier down from that. It's like, yeah, I'm happy with that. That'll do. But it could have been a bit better. Skip, like, it's inoffensive. It's not atrocious, but I wouldn't really bother to like put this on a set list. You know what I mean? If I became falling out, which is never happening, but theoretically. Then all four is just the yeah, there were. Okay, we'll start with Almost Fallen. That's going in awful. Almost Fallen was my third track, and it is quite an important track because the first two songs, Be Stronger Ways, were about nothing. This song was about something, but no one could tell what it was about because the storytelling was atrocious. And that's the problem with Almost Fallen. The narrative doesn't really work. Um, it's way too cryptic. There's way too many words that kind of saying the same thing. I really didn't explain the story of that summer. I don't know. Maybe it was a fear like, oh, I don't want people to know what the song is about. But like, there's ways to be subtle and tell a story and not be. And that's something I've learned. So yeah, Almost Fallen, and the beat is like some preset Keely found somewhere. So there's really nothing salvageable about Almost Fallen. Alien, I'm gonna say proud of it. I think Alien is a very simplistic song, but I think it kind of works in that sense because it got a great kind of instrumental. We've got an early 2000s feel. This is one that, like, if I did do a set list, and that's what I'm thinking about with this, this would forever be on the set list no matter what I release because it's just simple. It's not too difficult vocally. I just think it works for the song. It's quite surface level lyrically, but yeah. Ash, I'm also going to say proud of it. It's a hard one to gauge, and some people are going to hate this, but I kind of liked Ash as an opening because it was a stab in the dark. It was an experiment, and it builds and it's got this theatrical element. I think I had a lot of fun with it, and I think it's a song that I'm quite happy with how it works and its placement in the album. So I'm gonna say I'm proud of it. Always Been You as a skip. It's not offensive, but it just is really boring. The verses go on way too long. It's like, oh, I'm doing a song about family, okay, but like it's just. I think this was a weird thing where like it was a made out alive leftover, which kind of merged into progress, and it was like that in between phase. I don't really. It's probably right out of all my songs, probably the one I think about the least. Like I forget about this one. Bandage will go in best work along with the original Bandage. Um, I think Bandage was a really important song for me because it was like the first time I was actually able to successfully tell a metaphor, do a story, and I think it was very raw. 'Cause I wrote that song literally on a whim on like an terrible night. You know what I mean? I think it really showed. I think it's most emotionally invested in it, and it's a special one to me. And I think I'm always going to put it in that top tier. I'd love to remaster it one day properly. Okay, Be Stronger and Be Stronger Rewrote are both going to go in awful. I think that at the time I kind of liked Be Stronger Rewrote. I thought it was clever, but no, I just most of Made Out Alive is going to be down here, and even before that, the original Be Stronger had no salvageable. It didn't really have a hook. The lyrics were terrible. Like, there's nothing salvageable about that song. Bicycle, I'm gonna have to say happy with it. Bicycle, God, this song. this song had a bit of a journey, which I'll tell you about. So I actually recorded this with Alfonso Archer originally. This was meant to be part of Path in the Future, like a deluxe for it or something. So I wrote this like late 2023, and it was a song that I just had sat in the wayside, and I was like, okay, let's bring it onto the album. But it didn't translate as well because we were going for this like bedroom pop, indie pop, like auto tune, R&B stuff, and then we were trying to do that with this song, and it just like it took a lot of work. In the end, I finished this one myself, so it was kind of like my baby in a weird way because it's the one song which RW didn't fully do, and I had a role in creating the final one, which maybe why we went. So I'm happy with it, but I just think I wrote a song that was out of my range vocally, and I know I'm not talking too much about vocals on here, but and it is a very solid song, but I don't know. Blame Game, yeah, I'm happy with it again. I think Blame Game does what it says on the tin. I think it's, I liked what we did with the hook on this one. I think it's a good message, it's kind of simple, but it's not really one that I always come back to. Lower Realities, I'm gonna say happy with it as well. I think this and another song we'll talk about in a minute from Made It Out Live are the only two which I think actually had any chance of being good. Like Blur Realities, the beat is interesting. I mean, I like the quick fire delivery, the kind of insanity. I think that if we did this now, this could be like almost like skeletons in the way that we do the delivery, and I think that could work. Pop Box is awful. Um, when you're interpolating Bob the Builder, you should know. Dylan Johnson, you know him. Um, he liked this song. This is the one Broadburn song he actually liked. But then again, his favourite song in the minute is Ordinary by Alex Warren. So this guy's this cookie cut. I just think it's cringe. This it just is cringe when you're doing Big Fish for car. But I'm sorry. Changes. I'm happy with it. Changes has flaws in the writing. I think that some of the verses are too fast. It needed streamlining, but I think it has had the potential, and I really like the story in there. I really like the instrumental and some of the stuff. It's just a shame that back then I didn't have the resources that I have now because I think Changes had a lot of potential, the song. Change the Tide as a skip. I'm not quite going to put it in awful, but it's a song. The problem is, right, I write songs based off my life, right? I write songs that are 100% true. I've never done a song, apart from maybe Waiting for Mistletoe, you could argue, that wasn't like true or how I actually felt about something or something that actually happened, right? I've never done fantasy, I never will. And the problem with doing that, and the problem is about talking about your life, is that in life things change, your opinion on people changes, your opinion of situations, you mature from things, and Change the Tide is unfortunately a victim of that. But it was a fun dance song, what I mean? It could have been alright. Finally Thriving is a skip as well. Like okay, all right. I don't like Finally Thriving because I think it comes off as like fake. I'm trying to say that, oh, I'm thriving, life's great. Like it isn't. Like you're trying to say that everything's over and things aren't. Like I don't like a lot of the lyrics because of that on this. I think it isn't as true as other songs, but I think it's slightly better than Almost Fallen, the flow. So I'm gonna put it in there. Find Your Way, awful. Find Your Way Part Two, skip. Find Your Way is one of my most iconic songs, not because of the actual song itself, but because of how the leaps and hoops I went through to try and somehow make that song happen. And it's mental, really, thinking like what we went through back then. But in the end, it's just a song that kind of keeps repeating itself. Like the lyrics are just going in circles. It shouldn't have been a Made It Out Live. I just hate it. Find Your Way Part Two. The problem is it is limited by that really basic instrumental, so it falls out of place on Path of the Future. And I only did it because I had this tradition. I redo a song each time, and it shouldn't really exist. So it's a skip. Go Away. Oh God, that's awful. God, I've got a lot of songs in awful. This is not good. Um, I think Go Away. Just again, this is another preset instrumental, so that kind of pulls it. But I'm trying to decide about how like, life is precious, and like, okay, that's like that's a relevant thing, that's something we can all get behind, but it goes on and on. And I just think maybe it could have been good, but I don't like the subject matter, I don't like the lyrics, so yeah. Go On, I'm gonna say happy with it. Like, I actually, like, went back to Go On. Go On's another one I always forget about, and it could be put in skip, but I think it with some production, I'm trying to visualize some of these songs, what they'd look like. I think that Go On, because of kind of the pop nature of it, we could do something similar with Not Again with it, and I think it's a song that I wrote when I was 7 and revamped, so that was kind of a bad sign, but I don't mind it. Golden Years, I'm gonna say proud of it. I think Golden Years, unfortunately, didn't hit as a single that I wanted it to be at the time, because I think it's one of my best, like, songwriting. Like, I think that the hook is really, really strong. I think the sentiment is really strong. I think it's just a really solid, you know what I mean, song. But unfortunately, just the vocals and the one take rules we had back then just limited it. But I think if I redid Golden Years, it could stand with the new songs. To be honest, Heartbreaking is awful. I hate Heartbreaking. The instrumental's alright. I didn't like the vocal interventions I was doing with this one. I didn't like the arrangement of the song. I think that some of it's off key. Like, it's just a mess. If I Have You, I'm gonna say I'm proud of it, honestly. This is a really funny song, if you know me, and I'm not gonna tell you why, but if you listen to the lyrics or you learn who this song is about and what life is now, right? Like, this is another case of change the tide of, like, life changes and it's funny, but I still think it's got a great groove. It's really fun. Like, I had a blast with this one, and I think if we did it properly, it could be a really cool song as well. Keep Smiling is going in my best work. I love this instrumental that Keely did. It's just like a lot of the time when he does stuff for me, it doesn't quite match what I asked for, or like it's maybe a different, and I have to adapt my plans. Or but sometimes he's just spot on, and with this he was absolutely spot on. I really like kind of the metaphor. I think this is what Almost Fallen tried to be, where like you're able to tell the story and get a sense, but and tell it through metaphor, but not be so cryptic to the point that no one can get it. And I think this was the evolution of that almost. Long Aston, yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it's kind of in that Alien territory, but it's not quite as good as Alien, where like it's a decent groove. Again, vocally, if we improve this, it could be solid as an opener. But it is just that, it is just solid. Lying to Myself, I'm proud of this. I think Lying to Myself is like, it's not the strongest song in terms of like memorability, but on a personal level, it's like this lesser. It's got no chorus. It's like this stripped back personal ode, and it's a bit of a cringe song, but it's another one of those like change the tide if I have you things of like, yeah, life changes. But you know what? Not enough. I'm gonna say proud of it again. I think Not Enough is a stripped back ballad. It's universal. I think the lyrics really tell the story. It's almost like the more cleaner bandage in terms of like the evolution of that, and you come to terms with stuff, and I really appreciate that. New Frontier is a skip, man. It's just like it's got an old folk vibe to it, but this is the kind of thing that like if you have it on in the background, this is if we did up the song, like it'd be fine, but it's not. No one's favourite song of Broadburn is this. It's never going to be. Um, Number Crunch, skip again. Number Crunch worked for about a week because it's a song about leaving school, and that only happened like a week. Like, it was fun, I guess, but it's an outdated track, and I don't really see a reason why I'd ever have to redo it. Persona, best work. Persona's a messy track. I don't care, but it's always a big one for me. I love the instrumental. I love kind of the groove. I love the climax of the song. So I think it's another one that builds. And I just think that like I should go ahead and just say like, oh, fuck everyone, you're all fucking personas. Like, it's just brilliant. Reverse, oh god, Reverse is awful. Um, Reverse was like, okay, I've done Bandage and this really worked. Let's try and do Reverse, but it's so sappy. It's so like it's so silly. The song. It's like I'm talking about like how life was so bad. There was all these. lies, grief, but stains and all this stuff, but you were still happy despite this, and you want to go back to that. And I know, like, it's a you know commentary of my life at the time and how I felt at the time, but it's a disjointed song. Like, why the hell would you want to go back to when like there was grief and stains in life? It don't make sense to me. Replicate is a skip. It's just a straightforward. Every single album I seem to do a song like, oh, I fear the future, but you missed it all was a way better version of everything Replicate tried to be. Unfortunately, Scared to Love Again. I'm proud of it. You know what I mean? I think Scared to Love Again is probably there's maybe one or two that I think have the most potential of doing again because I really like the vibe. Like it's got almost like a pop R&B vibe to it. I think that the hook was really strong on this one. There's like a rap verse that kind of works. Like I think if we did this up properly, it could have some potential. Slow Motion is also a skip. I think it's a very ambitious vocal song again. It's like kind of the bicycle thing of like I struggle with this one. Don't know. It's fine though. It's not awful. Shadow Man. You know what? I'm proud of it because I think that the songwriting and the storytelling is really strong in this one, and it's got like a good jibe to it. I think it's an interesting track. It's one I'm glad I did, and I don't know if I'd ever do it again, but it's got something about it. This Is Me is my least favorite song of mine because it's false again because it's not even telling the true story. It's cringe. It's like it's trying to be an epilogue to Made It Out Alive, but Made It Out Alive has no cohesion, has no story. So This Is Me just feels useless. The instrumental was like whatever. It's really boring. Sorry to Keely. And the hook is just trash. Like it's worse than Be Stronger, genuinely as a song for me. Okay, The Nightmare Neighbor, I'm happy with it for what it is. Like, okay, I'm doing like a hard rock, almost punk track. Like it's got like, that punk rock like delivery. It's the best it was gonna be. It's a bit of a novelty song. It's not taking itself too seriously. It's kind of like got the U-turn element to it, which we'll talk about in a minute. Like it Undecided is awful. I was trying to do a song about homophobia, but I hate the way it's written and delivered. It's just like I think it's something that I could have tackled in a way better way than this. It's a bad opener to Progress, man. I hate Undecided and Undecided and This Is Me are probably my bottom two because at least Be Stronger Waves, I can argue the sense of like they were the first two. They shouldn't have been released, but like these were like some way into it. They offend me on so many levels. U-Turn is always going to be best work because for what it is, it's a diss track song. It's an rap, you know, drill track. It's not taking itself too seriously. It's almost a novelty, and it's just like the bars are solid. It makes good points. You know, some of it's aged a bit bad, but it is what it is. Let's talk about Waves Rewritten. I think Waves Rewritten, I'm happy with it. I like how the trill back it is, and I think if I redid this, it could have some potential. And I think the Waves instrumental was quite nice and one of the better early ones, to be honest. The original Waves is obviously awful. Like I've talked about 1,000 times why I don't like this song. There's too many words in it. It's not actually really about anything. I didn't have any direction with the song. The Keeley's verse has nothing to do really with what I'm saying. Like it doesn't work. Waste of potential. I think it's like it's a skip, isn't it? Like it's got a decent sort of. Okay, it's put all the new songs at the end, which I didn't realize when did the whole thing refreshed, didn't it? Oh god. Well, we'll talk about them in a minute anyway. Warn You, proud of this. I think Warn You for a time it would have been in my best work, but like, I don't quite love especially the third verse. I think the first verse is great. I think the second verse is all right. I think the third verse is a bit too much. Like I think the problem with this song is that I'm overestimating my impact that I could have had in this situation. Like, yeah, you didn't warn a person about something, you should have told them they were with someone toxic. Yes, But how much impact would that have stopped anything? No. They probably would have just ignored you. And I'm trying to say like, "Oh, you could have been the savior," and it's a bit arrogant, the whole track, so that's my only problem with it. Waiting for a Mistletoe, it's not awful, but it is a skip, isn't it? Unless it's December. I think theoretically, if I did this up properly and did a Christmas song, like, it's fine. It works for all it is. It's simple, but it is a skip, isn't it? Okay, 2 Feet, skip again. 2 Feet is, like, kind of in the Ash category of, like, I've tried a lot of weird things. This was like a because this was in the era kind of where I didn't really give the Kaylee much detail on what to work with. I just kind of said, "Do me an instrumental and I'll find something." 'Cause I don't really know what direction I was going in as an artist. So when he sent me this, I was like, "What the fuck am I gonna do with this?" And then I made 2 Feet. So yeah. Now let's talk the new songs because they've all been put at the end when it refreshed, which is a bit annoying. Fractured. I am I'm proud of it. I think Fractured is a very emotionally deep song for me. I think it's a really important song for me. It's one of the most honest ones I've done, but also solid instrumental, which it does its job, you know what I mean? I like what we did with it. The New You, I'd say, yeah, again, I'm proud of it. I think that it's, as a closer, it's a simple ballad. It's kind of got that not enough vibe to it, you know what I mean? But it doesn't really evolve as a song. It doesn't really have like a point. 4 a.m. I'm putting in my best work. I think that the way this song builds, the opener, and the way it just kind of like the overlap of vocals, and it really captures a moment in time, and I could tell you exactly what moment in time that song is, and I think it's really special. Um, I was wrong. I'm gonna say happy with it. I think it's the first one we did. We just kind of experimented a bit. I think it's strong lyrically. It's an ode. It shows maturity and all that stuff. But I think that there's just certain bits about the song that I don't think it really stands out as much as other ones. Force of Feeling, again, I'm gonna put it in happy with it. I think that my delivery is very deadpan on this song, and I kinda like that. It's, like, to the point, it's almost like a conversation. The hook works, but it is simple. It's a very simple one. It was, like, that complex. Okay, You Missed It All, I'm gonna say is my best work. I think You Missed It All is just I love the vocal layer, and I love the kind of effects we use on this one, the high pitched ending, like it's just really culminated, and it's got this kind of chilling vibe of like leaving childhood and all this stuff, and it's like I think it's probably like it's between one and one other. Neverland honestly is a skip. Neverland is my least favourite song on 4 AM Thoughts, and Reece actually disagreed with that. He really liked kind of the ending solo. Yeah, it's a nice instrumental and it has got like that magical feeling. I just think it's a bit basic. I think it's a bit boring at times. I think it just like it kind of fills the void between Force and Too Easy, which we'll talk about Too Easy. I think Too Easy is my best work. I think it's just what we able to do with that first chorus, the production. I think is a really good song because like it shows that desperation, the way it evolves, and it shows that kind of play and that regret. I think it's got a really great guess disco vibe, one of my favourite key instrumentals. Like it's just I think it's a timeless song, and I think it's one I would always have on a set list. Not again, I'm proud of it. I think it was kind of that pop song that we were trying to do for years. And it is kind of reminiscent of Progress, this song, because it could have been on Progress, but we did so much with it and kind of so on. I think it just really has a chance. Skeletons, again, I'm gonna say proud of it. I think that the effect is pretty cool, um, that we do. Like, I think the lyrics are kind of deadpan. I think it really gets its sense across. I think it tells a narrative. I think it really solid track. Now this is just like an error for me at the end. So this is the tier list. A lot of songs in awful, handful and best work, a decent amount. I'm proud of it, and yeah, but most of the songs are near the bottom, which kind of says so. My top 5 songs for me is gonna be Too Easy, You Missed It All. How did Ash end up in best work? That was it originally. Um, Too Easy, You Missed It All, 4 AM, Keep Smiling, and then U-turn. And then the five worst. I mean, God, there's some trash down it. Cardboard Box is in fifth. Original Be Stronger, Original Waves, Undecided, and This Is Me. Yeah, I will soon. I will be doing a tier list for all the albums of the ex-BA students. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I can't really call it like BA. Coming out of the school anymore, but yeah, I'll put all RW or the Bra albums, even some fucking Lukey Tooty and Keeley will all be on it, and I'll put myself in there and probably get called arrogant no matter where I put four in. So yeah, I will see you lot soon. Goodbye.